When I'm selling these luxury homes, most of those buyers are blown away. This market is really strong. Even though pricing is continuing to remain very solid in the luxury, the pace of sales does slow down, mostly because if you're watching homes priced at $850,000 and above in Yakima, today I'm going to give you the real update of what's happening in the luxury market. Do interest rates affect the luxury market? Are buyers still paying cash? And how does Yakima stack up to national trends? And what does the future really look like? So what is luxury homes in Yakima? I consider that price point $850,000 and above. What are you going to get? All depends. Views. Do you want equestrian? Do you want orchards? Do you want ag? Do you want a custom home? You get a lot of these different things when it comes to luxury homes. Luxury single-family home sales in 2025 went up 14%. We're even seeing pricing at that same luxury price point increased by 5% last year. This market is really strong. Even inventory is increased in the luxury market, and we'll get to that when it comes to Yakima's market. The truth is, we're seeing pricing even higher at 5% over year. We definitely didn't see that in the lower price points, meaning that luxury is outperforming the rest of the market. Who knew? In 2025, Yakima's MLS sold 39 homes at this 850 and above. In fact, I sold 4 homes priced over $1 million up to $1.4 million off market, meaning I had the buyer and the seller and we were able to negotiate the contract. So that already puts us into about 44, 45 homes in terms of luxury sales. I'm not the only one doing that. There's plenty of private sales going on when we talk about this price point. I think we could easily say that over 50 homes sold in the luxury market in Yakima in 2025. This is unheard of. It is unprecedented that the luxury market remains so strong. The truth is, it doesn't matter what interest rates are today. This buyer is savvy enough, has the cash, and is likely taking a big chunk of money from the sale of a home potentially in Seattle, California, East Coast, even in some areas in the Midwest. They're bringing all that equity and buying a luxury home in Yakima. And I will share with you, when I'm selling these luxury homes, most of those buyers are blown away by the quality that they're going to get and the features, as well as the options for views and so forth. So consider this. That is in that price point. There were even home sales in the luxury price point over $1.5 million that occurred. Now, I look at those differently because they likely had 50 to 100 acres attached. It might have been a gorgeous custom home, but a lot of the value was in the property. To that same point, they may have a pool. They could have a huge shop. I know one sold with like a 10-car shop and it had the lift things in there, crazy stuff. So when we get over 1.5, the pace of sales does slow down. There are fewer buyers, and mostly because it is a very niche product that is available. When we look at this type of buyer, the question is, how do interest rates affect versus cash buyers? The majority of sales that I've done in this price point are cash buyers, meaning they have so much equity in their previous home plus other assets that allow them to pay cash. The other thing that you'll see at this price is that whatever the rates are really does not affect their decision to buy. They have the money, they have the means to buy exactly what they want. Interest rates last year on average were right around at 6.2. If you go into a jumbo loan, which would be a home at that higher price point, the rate typically goes up. Even with that, I will share with you one client in particular. They put about $300,000 down, so well over 25%, which is recommended on a jumbo loan, and that allowed them to get a more competitive rate. Rates are a headwind, but they're not a deal breaker when it comes to this price. These people have equity positions and they are making the decision based on the desire to live in an area with the features that they're looking for in their next home. Yakima's current luxury market looks like about 60 plus homes in inventory. And again, keep in mind that this is a wide breadth of properties, from ranches to orchards to very high-end custom homes with a lot of square footage. So we've never seen this before. It is such an exceptional time to purchase in the luxury market because you have so much choice. Even though pricing is continuing to remain very solid in the luxury, and in fact, even going up locally, much like what's happening across the national average, the pace of sales is running at about 60 to 70 days on market. So lots of inventory, but the discerning buyer is very specific about what they want. So they're cutting through the fray of so much inventory, deciding on the home they want, and then negotiating on price. And I'll tell you, the price is really not adjusting that much, honestly. You would think with that much inventory, like you would see at other price points, it would potentially push pricing down. That's not happening here. And that's because the sellers realize the value of what they have. The market supports that price point, and therefore they're able to maintain that sales price. They might move 1%, 2% off. You would rarely see a 3% move at this price. Luxury buyers in our market care much more about the alignment of the features in the home and how it's going to suit their lifestyle. This is a different type of way of shopping than what you would see in an entry-level home, which I'm sure makes sense. So these buyers have liquidity. They have the ability to pull the trigger and make decisions quickly. They rarely have a home to sell in order to buy. So we don't have to go through the process of contingent. If they have another home that they want to pull the equity from, they can do that through a loan vehicle to do so, or frankly, many of them are able to handle both mortgages in the event they needed to do so. The national outlook is telling us it's going to continue to be a slow, steady improvement in the luxury market. While rates may come down, we're currently in the low sixes and we might see a dip down. I really don't see that affecting the buyer strength in the luxury price point. I believe Yakima's luxury homes, the inventory should remain about the same and the pace of sales about the same, which is honestly over 3 a month. It could even be considered as fast as 1 a week. Again, unprecedented amount of volume that we're seeing in the luxury price point. Homes that are coming on the market on the regular right now, many of them are having great big views. I would say a lot of them, some of the new inventory I have coming on at that price point, they are older homes, but what they have is location and view, and they are quality built homes. However, even at that price point, they're still going to need some updating. So you're going to continue to have a portfolio of different homes to look for that are going to suit your needs. Again, interest rates, I don't really see that affecting the pace of sales in Yakima when it comes to the luxury. The Yakima market is positioned for success going forward in 2026 and beyond for the luxury. Our pricing is stabilized. We have great product to put out and more people coming into our market. A lot of people ask me, where are these buyers coming from? And I would describe it as almost a 50-50 local versus out-of-towners coming to the market. That was the experience I had this past year. So we have people coming from Portland, Seattle, California, East Coast, Midwest that are relocating here and deciding that Yakima is going to be home. And what drives a lot of that relocation, honestly, I can think of one young couple that moved up here from San Diego, sold their beautiful beachfront property. They came back to Yakima. They grew up here. We grew up together, in fact. And they decided it was important to move back to be close to family, look after aging parents, and reconnect with old friends. There's a lot of us that came back. I see more and more of that happening. And the truth is, it's because they were able to bring so much cash and equity from their homes in metropolitan areas that to step into our market, it is a thrill what they can afford to buy, and they frequently are paying all cash. There's a lot of people coming back to the Valley as well as higher paying jobs. So we have obviously a very deep and healthy, robust ag market. Those jobs are getting higher and higher paying. We need more engineers, more technical support. We need logistic companies. We need packaging companies. And all those people require talent. And that talent comes with a higher salary, which allows them to step into this price point. There's no sign of slowdown when it comes to high-priced homes in the Yakima Valley. In fact, I think it's really strong and it's going to continue to go up. We've seen it happen year over year over year. Even before COVID, it has continued a slow, steady improvement. If you're looking at buying into this market at the luxury price point, awesome. Remember this, you got to live here 5 to 7 years to recover your investment. That is across the board. It doesn't matter the price point, and it is imperative at this luxury price point. Sellers, I just shared with you, there's a bunch of inventory available to buyers. They're going to be savvy in particular. Your home needs to shine like a diamond, and you need a strategic approach to get your home ready for market so it can absolutely compete.